Hi everyone, it's Anahata. How are you? Hey, so yesterday I spoke to you all in the brief medicine for the moment about the Scorpio full moon that's occurring and how to leverage that energy. And one of my dear friends actually commented about how you could take those codes, the code for moon and the code for Scorpio, and actually project them onto the moon's surface, either through meditation or physically taking the numbers and placing them on there and staring at them. And it actually was perfect timing that he brought that up, because I do go over this in my masterclass, but I feel like many of my students are missing out on ways to amplify the activations possible through Anahata codes. So today I want to briefly share with you some tips and tricks on how to resonate on a higher level, on a more expansive level with the Anahata codes once you install them, as well as install a code for you real quick so that you can go do that with one that in particular is going to be so beautiful and effective this week for you all. Hi everyone, I'm so glad you're here. Love you all. Okay, so let's get busy. If you are new to the Anahata codes, you can download them at anahatacodes.com. Check them out. They are free. They always will be. What they allow you to do is activate dynamic self-healing and evolutionary DNA. And the science that's coming out to support all of this, again, this information was given to me through God in April of 2015, only 3 years ago. Since then, there are thousands of students all around the world, hundreds of masterclass students, dozens of certified Anahata code practitioners, and many dozens more in training. And so the Anahata codes allow you to connect to all things. You're already connected to them, by the way. But with your intention, your heart chakra, and the code, it opens up a portal, so to speak, to allow you to leverage the energy and information of anything that is in the book of codes. Now, these codes are organized in rows and columns on a spreadsheet, so you can't see which category you're being pulled to. Now, go back and look at my other videos if you're wondering how this all works, or perhaps you may want to sign up for an upcoming masterclass series, which is always happening, to learn the science behind how you activate dynamic self-healing. But long story short, to find what you need, you are drawn to it through the law of attraction. And it's a beautiful journey. If you haven't done it yet, I receive daily emails from people going, oh my gosh, I asked for a code for this, and what came in response just brought me to tears because it's so perfect. I'll never forget when I was helping someone a couple years ago, and they were listing, 12 mental, emotional, physical issues they were really struggling with, and I took a deep breath and thought, oh my gosh, how is one code going to answer all this? And absolutely it did. It was in the crystal category, and the definition of the crystal that we installed energetically was addressing every single issue. Incredible. This is why I call it the law of attraction of energy medicine. But guys, today I want to briefly speak to you, and I actually have to run here in a few minutes to teach a master class. But I wanted to jump on and give you some tips and tricks on how to leverage the codes once you install them. Now, of course, your body does it automatically. There's a torus shape, a toroidal energy flow. It's a vortex that goes up your chakras around. It's an inverted donut. If you want to learn more about how energy flows and how this is just the way we are set up as humans, in fact, everything has a vortex energy flow around it. We're getting into sacred geometry here and the seed of life, which I do teach in the masterclass series as well. I'll put the links in here for you guys to decide where you want to go next with all this. But the point for this is that your body does it automatically, right? It's just the way we're programmed. We seek the path of least resistance and strength and expansion. We are beings of light and love, and our core is unconditional love. And so things that are akin to that vibration feel good, they're efficient, they're strong, they're stable, they're natural. Now, fear, the grand illusion, throws us out of whack in so many ways. And in fact, I think it's the veil. The veil is that false separation, the feeling that we're not one. And so the Anahata codes break down those walls, get you closer to remembering who you really are. It's a return to the memory of wholeness. And you activate resonance remembrance when you install a code. So what can you do to take it to the next level? That's what I want to talk to you about. Again, your body does it automatically once you install the codes. There's a guide at anahatacodes.com to tell you how to do that if you're not up to speed. But once you install the code, there are several ways to amplify the access you have to dynamic self-healing and evolutionary DNA. The first one is carriers. Carriers are awesome. I could teach an 8-hour class beginning now and not stop for 8 hours talking about how amazing water, crystals, and oil are in how they carry and emit vibration, okay? Now, you've heard me say over and over again, 99.9% of all things is empty space. Of course, it's not empty. It's energy and information. But that is just fact. If you were to take down, look it up, all the mass in the universe, it would go into a cube of sugar. That's how illusional things are. We are not solid. The electromagnetic energy fields and our limited senses make it seem like everything is solid. Not so. It's 99% energy and information. You are already tapped in and connected to all things. So the carriers of which I speak, water, crystal, oil, they actually hold energy and information that you give it like wrappers, so to speak. Now, you can create limitless frequency recipes to assist you for any concern or desire, right? And you can make elixirs of water. Go back to my Facebook videos when I was talking about how to bless your water. You can infuse water with assisting frequencies. It's amazing. Now, again, this is after you install the code. You can infuse water, crystals, or oil with the code. And what happens then is, since you've already got it flowing in your vortex, right, through your intention, your heart chakra, which is the wormhole that pulls it forth, and the Anahata code, that's going to dynamically activate self-healing perfectly as you need it. Okay, you are the assisting frequency. You activate that dynamic self-healing. And this is just biology. This is how we work anyway, even with our gene expression and our biology. It's our response to our environment. So you respond naturally to the code, which brings about balance because your body's already programmed to seek the path of least resistance and to seek unconditional love, unity in your heart. So the carriers give you a way to amplify or turn up that vibration. You can picture it as a radio tuner, right? You've got it going on and you're dialing in to that. And so water, crystal, oil, great way to amplify the activations possible with the Anahata codes. The second thing, and by the way, if you want to learn how to do that, go to frequencyalchemist.com. That is I think it's only $50 or something, the course that I teach you over 2 hours. I also give you blank recipe labels for you to create limitless frequency recipes out of this. So I'll put the link in there, frequencyalchemist.com, if you want to learn how to do that. The second way is through meditation. Now this way it's really beneficial. If you can meditate, great, but if you can put on a shaman drum, and I'll put a link here for you all. And after we install this code, you can maybe go do this later. You're going to have so much fun. A shaman drum gets your brain waves out of alpha and beta and into theta, which is the dream state, the place of intuition, and really gets your ego mind out of the mix very quickly. And so if you set your sacred space after installing the assisting frequency that you need, you can turn on the binary beats of the shaman drum, and I will put a link in here for you to do that. And what that's going to do, guys, is allow you to really just sink into oneness and go. It's a journey. You're going to be tethered to your body, rooted in Gaia. There's no harm that's going to come to you because you've set your sacred space. Speaking of, if you don't know how to set your sacred space, go to my website. I have a free guide for you there, anahatacodes.com. And so as you get into this meditative state, with your intention of experiencing the code, there is no right or wrong. It will come to you and speak to you in ways that are going to blow your mind. I've done this so many times where you install a blend of codes, you go into a meditative state, and you begin to see and interact on a journey with these codes. And I like to say you're marinating in their medicine. It is so amazing. Which brings me to one more point before we go to the third way to do this. And that is, you can actually infuse the past, time is just an illusion, law of relativity, with a code that you need to change the now. Okay, all we have is now. Now is your power. So the vibrational components of the past are just an interpretation you've pulled here. Okay, so you can actually go back in time to the point right before a trauma or an issue or something that you really could have used support for, and infuse that time on a cellular level with the assisting frequencies. I teach you how to do this at How to Heal Your Past, Present, Future on my website. Again, there's many courses for you to choose from. And so that was just a side note. So carriers to amplify and resonate with the codes, meditation to amplify and marinate in the codes, and really to see what comes forth as part of that holistic healing. Guys, it's a resonance remembrance when you install an Anahata code, and what that means is the 7 tools of restoration are reminding you of your wholeness. You're already whole, healed, healthy. It's the fear and disruption and the miscommunication which is causing erratic energy flow, aka dis-ease. Very easy to get back online through your return to the memory of wholeness, which is actually the root word of healing. So reflecting, releasing, rewiring, replenishing, resonating, reuniting, and rejoicing your way back to the memory of wholeness. That's what the Anahata codes do. So when you meditate, any one of those 7 tools of restoration are going to come to you in forms of a journey expressed through the code that you chose. Now, in just a second, we're going to install an amazing code for you to go do that with, because depending on what you install for what reason, you're going to have a different journey every time. And again, I'm going to put that shaman drum link for you. Go do it. You're going to be like, oh, and write a journal about it, okay? Another way is to write down the code and put it in your pillowcase and sleep on it. And while you're in that state of I want to say complete awareness. You know, you're not in your ego mind. You're there. You're replenishing. You're elevated. You, with that intention of putting that code under your pillow, are going to get messages as well. So that's kind of a third way. The fourth and final way to experience the codes on a new level through amplification and intention is mindfulness and projection. This is done in the waking state, as was the carriers, right? So water crystal oil replenishment and amplification is done, you know, while you're in the wake state. The meditation and the theta wave sleep element is done, obviously, when you're not conscious. But you're way conscious. Okay, so the fourth is also done while you're awake, and that is mindfulness. Now, this is one of my favorite ways because it really speaks to the fact that the codes are the law of attraction of energy medicine. Go back to my previous videos, especially Think Fresh, if you need to brush up on your knowing and your remembrance that we only encounter what we're a vibrational match to. And that because of polarity, often in our desire for something, we instead focus on the lack of it. That's just human, guys. That's what we do. We want something, and as soon as we want it, we go, I don't have it. but I don't have it. And we're focusing on what we don't have rather than what will be if we could only get on that level. And so mindfulness is really a great way for you to witness the codes in action, witness the law of attraction in action. And it's the fastest way to recreate your beliefs. Now, beliefs are just thoughts you keep thinking, right? Some of them are productive. Some of them are downright despicable. They're terrible for you, and yet we keep thinking them. And in our thinking, we are commanding more of that reality. And guess what? Your truth is your truth, and someone else's truth that's the opposite is their truth. And it's just as true, because what happens with the law of attraction is what we focus on and what we continually believe. These patterns pull that fabric of reality to us. It's called the law of attraction. And so we don't have to say, I want it. We are saying, I want it by focus and intention and energizing things. So again, we're an inclusive universe. What we focus on, we are saying yes to. So really starting to be conscious and mindful. What am I focusing on? What am I believing? And are these beliefs healthy for me or disruptive? And it's not a matter of good, bad, right, wrong. It's a matter of comfort. Do you want more of it or do you want less of it? That's really all it comes down to. And when it's centered in unconditional love, it feels good. It's who you are. When it's in discord to that, it's pulling your energy. It's not who you are. It's fear-based. Okay, so love or fear, what are you choosing? And in every moment, you can choose what you want. No one makes you do anything. And so mindfulness, after you install a code, is simply witnessing the code in action as it comes to you in ripples. It's so much fun. For example, if you decide that you need something for a pain in your shoulder, for example, and it's an herb that you've never heard of, and you install the code and you're like, okay, great, I see how it helps inflammation and you know, all of these things that you're like, yay, this is going to be great. Suddenly you're seeing this everywhere, right? You're like, oh my gosh. So this is the law of attraction in action. Same thing happens a lot with totem animal medicine. There's been many times when I've pulled a code that's in the totem category and then seen the animal in physicality, and I never had before, you know, like coyote was one that was crazy. I was like, and there's a coyote I'm about to run over, holy cow. Anyway, so my point is, through mindfulness, you can encounter the codes as you're going about your daily living, and it really helps you to understand just how powerful resonation is. Like attracts like, and you will experience it. And you'll have these waves of divine synchronicity where you're going, holy cow, this is incredible. And that really is just proof and validation that the universe is working for your good. You are a powerful co-creator. Surround yourself with the things you want more of. Focus your energy and intention on unconditional love, and everything you've ever dreamed of will come to you effortlessly through the law of attraction. And the codes are gonna you're gonna go, oh my gosh, here this one is again and again and again. So it's quite a wonderful ride to amplify through meditation, through carriers, through shaman journeying, and then of course mindfulness. The final thing is, and then the sleeping, you know, writing it, putting it on your pillow. I know we gotta go, but the last one is projection, right? Projecting the code, either writing it on the thing, or just simply visualizing it and projecting it onto the thing. This was where this live all stemmed from yesterday when I did the Scorpio full moon presentation, is that you can visualize those codes, or any code, on the thing it is that you are receiving, and you can experience it in an amplified way. Go to my Facebook page. In my news feed, I have an image of yesterday's codes, the moon and the Scorpio, all ready for you with it printed out. So just focus on that, and that'll bring actually more release and rewiring and reflecting and transformation, all the things that can be done with this beautiful full moon energy. All right, guys, long-winded as usual. I hope these tips have been helpful for you. Go ahead and go to frequencyalchemist.com if you want to take that class where I teach you how to make limitless frequency recipes and infuse them into water crystal oil. And how to heal your past, present, future. There's a free webinar on my site about that. And then, yeah, test this out. See how it goes. Reply in the feed here about your experience with amplifying the codes. Now, one last thing before I leave. If you aren't experiencing a code the way you want to experience it, you could have an energy deficiency where you don't have enough energy to actually activate the codes. If that's the case, go to wellnessvortex.com. And holy cow, we have 4 minutes, maybe 3 minutes, but I want to just tell you there's an amazing code. Actually, I'm going to have to do a part 2. I'm going to have to do a part 2. We don't have time. There's a code that I wanted to install for you all so that you could take this information with you and go into meditation, but I have to go because I've got to teach a class. So we will do it part 2. I will label this one as amplification part 1, and we'll do amplification part 2 where we install the code. Mwah! I love you guys. We'll talk soon. Thanks for joining me, guys. Bye-bye.